Stop. Do not scroll past this. I need you to hear me right now, in this exact breath, in this exact second. Because what I am about to tell you was not meant for everyone who sees this. It was meant for you, only you. And the fact that you are still here, reading these words, feeling that quiet pull in your chest, that you cannot quite explain, that is not a coincidence. That is a confirmation. Heaven does not waste moments. Heaven does not reach out without reason. God showed me something about you, something He has been holding close, something He has been protecting with great care, something that was almost released too early and lost forever, because the timing was not right. But today, right now, the window has opened. And the reason it opened today is because of something you did quietly. Something no one around you even noticed. Something so small that you yourself might have forgotten it. But heaven did not forget. Before I tell you what God showed me, I need you to do one thing. Take a breath, slow it down, feel your feet on the ground, because what comes next is going to reach something inside you that has been waiting a very long time to be found. Your life has not been easy lately. I already know that. There has been a kind of heaviness that follows you. A feeling like you are pushing against something invisible. Like the harder you try, the more things seem to delay. There have been moments in the quiet of the night when you ask God, "Is this it? Is this all there is for me?" And heaven heard every single one of those questions. Everyone, stay with me. What I am about to share will not just comfort you, it will change the direction of everything that comes next. My child, my dear one, let me speak to you the way heaven has spoken to me. I am Archangel Michael, and I was sent to you today, not with a sword raised in battle, but with a hand extended in love. Because the fight that was coming for you, the one that was building in the unseen world just outside your awareness, has already been stopped. God moved before you even knew there was something to fear. But you need to understand what happened. You need to understand why it happened now, why it happened to you specifically, and what is waiting on the other side of this message. Because this is not just a message, this is a turning point. And turning points only work when the person standing at them is awake enough to see which way they are facing. You are awake now. Good. Before I go any further, I want to pause for just a moment. There is someone out there, maybe miles from where you are sitting right now. Maybe in a different country, speaking a different language, lying in a dark room, feeling completely alone. They are asking the same questions you once asked. They are carrying the same weight you are only now beginning to put down. And they have not yet found their way to a message like this one. This mission exists because of people who believe that a single word, delivered at the right moment, can change a life. People like you. If this message has touched something real in you, if it has named something you could not name yourself, there is a way to help carry it further, through the link in the description. Or in the pinned comment below, you can support this mission with something as simple as buying a coffee. Not for us, for that stranger in the dark room who has not found their moment yet. You will never know their name, but your act of kindness will reach them. That is a beautiful and holy thing. You do not have to. There is no expectation. But if your heart moves you, follow that movement. Now, let us continue. My beloved, let me tell you what God showed me when He directed my attention to you. He showed me a person of remarkable depth. Someone who loves more than they let people see. Someone who has given and given and given, often to people who did not know how to receive that kind of love properly. Someone who has carried grief like it was their job. Someone who has smiled through pain and kept going when every honest feeling inside them was screaming to stop. He showed me the exact moment your spirit began to shift. It was not dramatic. No lightning, no thunder, no voice from the clouds. It was quiet. You were alone, and in the middle of a very ordinary moment, something inside you said, "I deserve more than this." Maybe you do not even remember it, but heaven remembers. Heaven has recorded it. And from that moment forward, the spiritual world began to reorganize itself around the truth of what you declared. When a chosen soul finally claims their worth, something extraordinary happens in the unseen world. The light around you becomes undeniable, and light, my dear, is not always welcomed by everything that has been comfortable living in your shadow. That is when the interference began. You have felt it. Have you not? The strange delays, the opportunities that appeared and then disappeared before you could take hold of them. The relationships that once felt safe that slowly began to feel draining. The moments of progress that were followed almost immediately by something pulling you 2 steps back. The confusion, the exhaustion that sleep could not fix. I need to tell you something about all of that, because you have probably blamed yourself. You have wondered if you did something wrong. You have asked if you were simply not meant for the things you were hoping for. You were not wrong. You did not fail. And you are absolutely meant for those things. What was happening around you was not punishment. It was pressure. And pressure, in the spiritual world, is a signal. It means something worth fighting for is nearby. You do not send interference towards someone who has nothing. You only fight what threatens you. Your breakthrough was threatening to something that wanted to keep you small. Let me be clear about one specific thing, because God was very specific when He showed this to me. There is someone, or perhaps there was someone, whose energy has been moving against yours. They may still be in your life. They may have already stepped back, but their presence, whether physical or energetic, has been creating friction in the spaces where your blessings were trying to take root. This person does not hate you. I want you to understand that. Their conflict is not really about you. It is about what your rise reveals about where they are stuck. You remind them of a version of themselves they gave up on, and that comparison, unconscious as it is, makes them uncomfortable in ways they cannot fully articulate. So they hold back. They make small comments that dim your light just slightly. They doubt you in front of others. They celebrate your struggles more than your wins. Heaven sees this, and heaven has already begun to move that interference out of your path. You may have noticed it happening. A relationship that has grown quieter, a dynamic that has started to shift. A space opening up around you that once felt crowded and now feels, slowly, like room to breathe. That is not loss. My child, that is landscaping. Heaven is preparing the ground for something that cannot grow in a crowded space. I want to speak now to the part of you that has been quietly keeping score. The part that counts the years and wonders if they were wasted. The part that looks at where you are and compares it to where you thought you would be by now. The part that carries the weight of things that did not work out. Relationships that ended, opportunities that closed, seasons that felt like they lasted too long. Listen to me carefully. Not a single one of those moments was abandoned by God. Every closed door was a redirection. Every delay was a protection. Every ending was a preparation. Here is what heaven allowed me to understand. God does not do things in steps that are separate from each other. He does not bless you in one area and leave another area broken. When He moves in your life, He moves completely. And a complete movement requires a complete clearing. Things had to shift. People had to move. Old patterns had to be interrupted, not to hurt you, but to make sure that when the blessing comes, it has somewhere solid to land. Your pain was never wasted. Your patience was never invisible. Your quiet faithfulness in the hardest seasons was being recorded, honored, and used as the very material that your next chapter is being built from. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are right on time, divine time, which is always different from the calendar on your wall. There is a specific truth I need to share now. And I ask you to receive it deeply, not just with your mind, but with the part of you that already knows. Your name has been spoken in the spiritual world, not in fear, not in judgment, in preparation. The agreements that were limiting your future, the invisible ceilings that were sitting above your progress without you knowing. They were there, they have been broken, one by one quietly, in the weeks and months that felt so still and so hard. Heaven was dismantling what was holding you back. You could not feel it while it was happening. Spiritual surgery rarely feels like healing while it is in process. But you may have begun to notice the signs, a sense of things loosening, a feeling of clarity arriving after long confusion, a sudden peace that does not have an obvious explanation, a dream that left you with a feeling you could not shake. Those were not random. Those were signals. Heaven confirming that the work was happening. And now, the work is nearly complete. The next season of your life is not going to look like what came before it. It is going to look like something you prayed for, something you were almost afraid to admit you still believed in, something you described to God in the quiet moments when no one else was listening. He heard you, he remembered, and he is responding. I want to pause here, right in this moment of tenderness, because something is moving in this space between us. If you have stayed with me this far, it means something in what I have shared has touched something real in you. And I want you to know that what you are feeling right now, this sense of being seen, being known, being remembered by something greater than yourself, there are people in the world who have never felt it. Not once. They wake up every day in the kind of spiritual loneliness that makes the world feel completely empty. They have been searching, scrolling, waiting for something that speaks directly to the ache they carry. They do not know how to name what they need, but they would recognize it the moment they heard it. This mission is about reaching them. If this message has given you something today, something like peace, like recognition, like hope, breathing again after a long time underwater, you can be the reason that peace finds someone else. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you can support this work by simply buying a coffee. That is it, one small, warm act. And through it, this message will find the person who needs it most. Someone whose name you will never know. Someone who might change everything in their life because they found what you found today. That is a gift worth giving, not because you owe it, but because kindness, when it is given freely, always finds its way back in a form more beautiful than we could have imagined. All right, my beloved, let us go deeper now. Heaven showed me 3 specific blessings that have already been prepared with your name on them. They were ready before you opened this message. This message was simply the moment your spirit agreed to receive them. The first blessing is restoration and financial breakthrough. I know that finances have been a point of stress for a long time. I know the weight of looking at numbers and feeling like, no matter how faithfully you work, something keeps the abundance just slightly out of reach. That season is ending. What is coming is not a temporary relief. It is a structural change, a new foundation, a new flow of provision that will create stability you have not felt before. Heaven showed me something that had been held in reserve, not denied but protected, kept safe from people who would have taken it or compromised it. It is now being released into your timeline. The evidence will begin to arrive in forms that might surprise you. An unexpected opportunity, a conversation that opens a door, a sudden clarity about a next step you had not seen before. Do not dismiss the small signs. They are the beginning of something large. The second blessing is a soul-level connection. For some of you, this is a relationship. For others, it is a community, a partnership, a friendship that will become foundational. God has been preparing another person, somewhere in your world or just outside of it, who has been through their own deep season of clearing. Their heart has been reshaped by difficulty the way yours has. They are not perfect, but they are aligned. They will not drain you. They will not compete with you. They will not secretly celebrate your struggles. Their presence will feel like solid ground, like breathing without effort, like coming home to a place you did not know you were homesick for. This connection is not a reward for surviving. It is a companion for the next level, because where you are going is too good, and too big to walk into alone. The third blessing is spiritual awakening, and it is the one that makes everything else sustainable. Your intuition is sharpening. Your discernment is developing in ways that will protect you from what used to confuse you. The lies that used to find gaps in your thinking will no longer have anywhere to land. You will begin to sense things before they are visible. You will know people's intentions before they fully reveal them. You will recognize divine appointments when they arrive, instead of realizing them only in hindsight. This awakening is not just insight, it is armor. It is a heightened spiritual clarity that will make every other blessing more protected and more lasting. These three blessings do not arrive separately. They are arriving together like a season turning all at once, and they are already in motion. But my dear, I must prepare you for something. Before a breakthrough fully settles into a person's life, there is almost always one final moment of testing. Not a punishment, not a doubt from heaven, a confirmation, a question from the universe. Are you the same person you were, or have you truly become who this blessing needs you to be? This test will not look like what you expect. It will look like a choice, a small one on the surface, maybe a conversation, maybe an invitation to go back to something old and familiar. Maybe a feeling of comfort pulling you toward a pattern that has always been safe but has never led anywhere new. In that moment, heaven will be watching not to judge you but to see which version of you shows up. The version that reaches for what is known, or the version that trusts the unseen path that everything in your spirit has been moving you toward. Choose the new version, my beloved. You have already done the hard work. You have already let go of more than most people ever will. You have already sat in the discomfort of becoming someone different and kept going anyway. Do not give that ground back in a moment of fatigue. Do not trade your miracle for a moment of familiarity. The door is right there. It is closer than it has ever been. Stay open, stay awake, stay soft but deeply rooted in what you know about who you are becoming. Heaven gave me something specific to share with you about what is coming. In the next 7 days, pay attention to the following. You will receive a sign in the form of something repeated. A number you keep seeing, a word that appears in different places, a name that comes to mind more than once without explanation. Do not dismiss this. It is a signal that alignment is actively happening in your life. You will feel a shift in your energy. Not dramatic, but real. A lightness that arrives quietly. A sense that the weight that has been on your shoulders is becoming easier to carry. That is not your imagination. That is heaven responding to the agreement your spirit made when you chose to stay with this message and receive what was being offered. You may have a dream that feels more vivid and more meaningful than usual. Pay attention to what you feel in the dream, not just what you see. The emotional experience of a divine dream carries the actual message. Someone may come into your awareness unexpectedly, a person you had not thought of recently, or a stranger who crosses your path in a way that feels somehow significant. Do not rush past those moments. Heaven often sends the pieces of a miracle through people. And finally, something that has been stuck will begin to move. A situation that has felt frozen, a door that has felt permanently closed, a conversation that has been needed but delayed. Something will shift, and when it does, receive it with an open hand, not with suspicion, not with the protective armor you learned to wear during the hard seasons, with openness, with faith, with the full knowledge that heaven did not bring you this far to let you fall at the threshold. My child, I want to speak to something tender now before we close. You have been strong for a very long time. You have held things together when everything wanted to fall apart. You have been the one who kept going when stopping would have been the easier and more understandable choice. And I want to say something to you that perhaps has not been said enough. That strength is not invisible to God. Every night you held it together. Every morning you got up when you did not want to. Every prayer you offered when you were not sure anyone was listening. Every small act of faith you performed in private, with no audience, with no recognition, with no guarantee that anything would change. Heaven witnessed all of it. Every single moment. And it has been weaving all of it together, like thread being drawn through a needle, creating something of remarkable beauty that you cannot yet see from the side you are standing on. You are not just about to receive a blessing, you are about to understand why everything happened the way it did. And in that understanding, the grief of the past seasons will transform into something you did not expect. Gratitude. Gratitude not because the pain was good, but because it was purposeful. Because it shaped exactly the person who was needed to carry exactly the life that is coming. You are ready, beloved. You may not feel ready, but readiness is not a feeling. It is a position. And you are in position. Before this message ends, I want you to hear this and carry it with you. You did not find this by accident. Nothing about this moment was random. The algorithm did not select you. Heaven directed you, and heaven does not waste the time of the people it loves. Something in you recognized this message before your mind fully processed it. That recognition is your spirit responding to the truth of what was said. Your spirit knows. It has always known. The breakthrough was never cancelled. It was never given away. It was held, protected, and kept exactly where it needed to be until you were ready. You are ready now. Walk into what is coming with your head up and your heart open. Release what needs to go. Welcome what is arriving. Trust the timing even when it does not match your calendar. And remember, in the moments when doubt tries to creep back in, that heaven moved quickly to reach you today. That urgency was not fear. It was love. It was a God who did not want you to step into this next season without knowing that you are fully seen, fully known, and fully carried. Go, your blessing is already in motion. My beloved, if this message reached something real in you today, if it named something you had been carrying alone, if it gave your heart even one breath of peace, or hope, or relief, I want to gently ask you to do 3 things before you leave. First, type the word ready in the comments below. Not because it is required, but because declaring where you are spiritually is a powerful act of intention. Let heaven see that you received this message with an open heart, and let the person who scrolls past your comment and reads it find even a small piece of courage for their own journey. Second, if you feel this message is something that someone else in your life needs to hear, share it. You may never know whose day you change. You may never know whose life begins to turn because they found this message through you. But that quiet miracle will be real, even if it is invisible to you. And third, if this channel has become a place where your spirit finds rest, subscribe so that the next message reaches you the moment it is released. Heaven speaks in seasons, and the next word may carry exactly what you will need in the days ahead. You are not alone in this. You never were, and you never will be. Until next time, my beloved, walk in light.
Chosen one, what I'm about to say may sound bold, maybe even unsettling, but it's a truth many people avoid because it disrupts what feels familiar. If you're listening to this right now, it isn't random. There are moments when God arranges your attention. Something powerful is about to shift in your life, and it's already starting in ways you might not have words for yet. You're being led away from church buildings, not because God wants you to leave faith, but because what He's placed inside you no longer fits the structure you once relied on. Churches often serve a season of spiritual growth, offering routine, agreement, and safety in numbers. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just no longer your calling. If this unsettles you, ask why. Is it because God can't exist outside a building, or because you were taught that your faith needed supervision? You are chosen, not because you're superior, but because God gave you a hunger that shallow religion can't satisfy. He loves you deeply and is drawing you into greater intimacy, clarity, and authority. That path often comes with loss. You may have faced rejection or betrayal, even from those who speak most about love. But God never aligns with people who try to limit, shame, or weaken what He's growing in you. When He lifts you up, resistance reveals itself. A chosen life isn't a popular one, it's purposeful. You don't need walls, schedules, or crowds to reach God. You can meet Him anywhere. Jesus said true worship happens in spirit and truth, not in places or performances. Your journey isn't tied to a location. It lives within you, and you're about to experience God in new ways. Before we go deeper, pause and do 3 quick things. If this message is speaking to you, hit the like button so this reaches others who need it. Subscribe to help us reach 40,000 subscribers, because we're building a space for people who are tired of pretending and ready to grow. And leave a comment with the number 99 as a simple declaration that you're open, alert, and aligned. It's not superstition, it's intention. It's you saying, God, I'm listening. And remember, if you are truly chosen, you won't run from a message that challenges you. You'll stay to the end because you're hungry for what's real. Now listen carefully. If you've ever sat in church and felt like you didn't quite fit, there's a reason. It's because you don't. You were chosen to walk a different path, one that doesn't require the confines of a traditional institution to connect with God. You're not ordinary, and your spiritual journey isn't ordinary. God has set you apart for something extraordinary, and this new path requires no walls to contain it. It is bigger than a weekly service. It is bigger than a familiar routine. It is bigger than rituals that your heart has outgrown. The world might look at you with confusion, maybe even disdain, wondering why you no longer feel the need to attend church the way you used to. Some will take it personally, as if your growth is an insult to their comfort. Others will accuse you of drifting, but the truth is, you have been called to something deeper, something more personal than many church routines can offer. Your connection to God is not dependent on a sermon or a pew. It's about the deep, unbreakable bond you share with Him in the stillness of your heart. This is not about rejecting church itself. This is about stepping into a more authentic, direct relationship with the divine. The church can be a place for those who still need structure, community, or foundational learning. Some people are in a season where they need guidance, accountability, and a shared rhythm. That's not weakness. That's growth at a certain stage. But for you, chosen one, God is calling you to walk a different road, where your spiritual journey becomes deeply personal, sacred, and alive every day, not just one day a week. Have you ever wondered why your spiritual life felt different from those around you? Why, even while attending church, you felt disconnected, restless, or quietly empty? Why the words that moved everyone else didn't reach you the same way? The answer is simple. You have been chosen to walk a path that is uniquely yours. This is a calling to step beyond the familiar and into direct communion with God, without needing religious institutions to stand between you and the voice of the Spirit. The plan God has for you is larger than simply attending services and repeating routines. He is leading you into intimacy, the kind that grows in silence, obedience, and private surrender. Jesus taught something that many people skip right past because it's too simple and too powerful. When you pray, go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who is in secret. Matthew 6:6. That's not a suggestion for special people. That's an invitation to everyone, but chosen ones actually do it. You are being trained in secret places, in quiet moments. In uncomfortable honesty, you are learning how to meet God without an audience. This is your opportunity to build a relationship with God on His terms and in your real life, not just within the polished language of public religion. A relationship grounded in authenticity and direct communication, not mere ritual. Embrace this path with trust and even excitement. You may not fully understand where it will lead, but you can be sure it will lead you to a deeper, more meaningful relationship with God than you've ever known. You have been called to a higher purpose, one that doesn't require the church to mediate your connection with the divine. And let's be honest, for many people today, church has become more about comfort than transformation. It's routine, it's identity, it's social belonging, it's familiar language. Again, that doesn't make it automatically wrong, but it explains why you feel what you feel. Because you weren't called to comfort. You were called to become. You were called to mature. And maturity often feels like separation before it feels like peace. Here's the part many won't understand. Churches are often built to serve those who still need external anchors. But for you, God is building an internal altar. He is teaching you to live from the inside out, led by His Spirit, not carried by a crowd. Scripture says, "For all who are led by the Spirit of God are sons of God." Romans 8:14. Led by the Spirit, not pushed by pressure. Led, not dragged. Led, not performed. Being chosen is not a sign of superiority. It is a sign of God's trust. He is trusting you with freedom, and freedom is serious. It means you no longer have the excuse of, "I didn't know." It means you begin to live accountable to the voice of God in your own conscience. It means you can't hide behind group religion while privately avoiding obedience. This path requires honesty, it requires courage, it requires the kind of faith that doesn't need constant applause. For so long, church has been the central place where people gather to worship and seek guidance. But now for you, the chosen one, church is no longer the center. God is inviting you into a deeper relationship that doesn't depend on rituals, sermons, or buildings. Your communion with Him can happen anywhere, at any time, without intermediaries. And when you stop relying on a building to feel spiritual, you open yourself to a world of spiritual freedom. This is where many people get nervous, because freedom can feel like you're floating at first. You may wonder what your spiritual life will look like without weekly routines. You may fear that without structure, you'll lose discipline. But the truth is, God is not calling you into chaos. He is calling you into guidance that is more personal than anything you've known. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:17. Freedom doesn't mean lawlessness. It means you are no longer chained to man-made expectations that replace the voice of God. The traditions and practices that once felt necessary may start to feel like distractions. You begin to recognize that God's voice is often clearest when the noise is gone. You begin to hear Him in the quiet of your own heart, in the stillness of your soul, in the way He interrupts your thoughts with peace that doesn't match your circumstances. And this gift is powerful because it turns your life into a living sanctuary. Every moment becomes a prayer. Every breath becomes conversation. Every decision becomes a chance to ask, "Lord, what are you saying here? What if I told you that God Himself has decided it's time for you to stop going to church the way you used to?" This isn't a call to abandon faith. It's an invitation to step into something stronger and more mature. The time has come for you to let go of the old way of doing things and embrace a deeper, more authentic connection with the divine. You no longer need church to feel close to God. In fact, He may be calling you away from it precisely because it's become a place where your growth is being limited by other people's comfort. Letting go of something familiar is never easy, especially when it's deeply ingrained like church attendance. But what if the act of letting go is the very key to unlocking a deeper relationship with God? When you stop outsourcing your spiritual life, you start owning it. When you stop depending on others to tell you what God is saying, you begin to learn His voice for yourself. Jesus said, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." John 10:27. If you are chosen, you are being trained to recognize His voice, not just the echoes of other people's opinions. Not everyone is called to walk the path you're on. The unchosen, those still seeking God through external structures, go to church because they need it. They rely on rituals, community, and the guidance of leaders to find their way. Again, that may be the right season for them. But you no longer need those external supports in the same way. You are being called into a relationship with God that transcends buildings and rituals. Your connection with Him is personal, direct, and powerful. While others may still seek God through the church, you've been invited into spiritual freedom where you can communicate with Him without intermediaries. This does not mean church is wrong for everyone. It means your journey is different. You are not bound by the same needs as those who still rely on church for guidance. You were chosen for a path that leads directly to God, and He is with you every step of the way. You may have grown up believing your connection with God was only valid inside church walls, that His presence was tied to a building or a weekly service. But what if the truth is even more beautiful? God knows you intimately beyond any institution. Your relationship with Him is not confined to Sunday morning or religious routine. It is living, breathing, and present in every moment of your life. Scripture asks a question that answers your fear. Where shall I go from your spirit? Or where shall I flee from your presence? Psalm 139, verse 7. The point is clear. You can't outrun Him, and you don't need to chase Him through religious hoops. He is near, He is present, He is involved. God's love for you is unshakable and personal. He knows your heart, your struggles, your dreams, your deepest desires, and even the parts you hide behind smiles. That is why the church is no longer necessary for you in the same way. The divine is already within you, always with you, guiding you, loving you, empowering you to walk your unique path. This realization is freeing. It means your spiritual journey does not need external validation. You are already whole, already chosen, already deeply loved. As you continue embracing this path, you may meet resistance from people who still walk the traditional route. Some may ridicule you or question your choices because they don't understand the depth of what God is doing in you. But those individuals are not your enemy. They are simply at a different stage. Some might even betray you, dismissing your freedom as weakness or confusion. Yet betrayal is not always a curse. Sometimes it is a clearing, a separation that makes room for obedience, a painful proof that you cannot build your future on people who only understand your past. These moments of misunderstanding and rejection teach you something precious. To trust your calling more than people's opinions. To remain steady when others are shaky. to keep walking even when you're misjudged. Your journey is not for everyone, and that's okay. Some people may never understand, but their understanding is not your assignment. Your obedience is. For so long, you may have sought validation through church structure. You attended, you followed rules, you tried to fit in, believing spiritual worth was measured by external things. But now God is calling you to stop seeking validation from institutions or people. You are already validated by Him. Your worth is not dependent on any outside source. This is your time to embrace your identity and live it fully. To walk confidently in the truth that your relationship with God is the most important thing in your life. There will always be those who criticize your decision to leave the traditional setting. They may cling to structure, ritual, and approval. They may label you misguided, but their reaction says more about their own journey than yours. Many stay where they are because they need the comfort of familiar patterns. They need permission to feel secure. But you, chosen one, no longer need that. You have already found your security in God, and that is enough. Your decision is not rebellion, it is spiritual liberation. You are stepping into your power, trusting that God is with you, guiding you every step of the way. When you walk in the truth of who you are, other people's opinions lose their authority over your heart. In the past, many believed connecting with God required a middleman, a priest, a pastor, a ritual, a system. But you are being invited into a new reality, one where nothing stands between you and God. Scripture says we can approach Him with confidence. We have confidence to enter the holy places by the blood of Jesus. Let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith. Hebrews 10:19-22. That is not the language of distance. That is the language of direct access. This is the true power of being chosen. You don't need a specific building to encounter God. Your conversations with Him can happen in your home, in nature, on your knees, while you wash dishes, while you sit quietly with your thoughts. Every moment becomes an opportunity to seek His guidance and feel His love. This shift is not only liberating, it is empowering. You are no longer dependent on external practices to feel close to God. Your relationship with Him is alive, vibrant, and unbroken, and it exists within you at all times. Leaving the church behind is not rejecting faith. It is stepping into the fullness of your calling. The power of your calling lies not in rituals, but in the daily relationship you cultivate with God. When you step away from what is familiar, you make room for your unique journey to unfold. A journey of freedom, self-discovery, and deep connection with the divine. God has already equipped you with what you need. He is guiding you toward a life that reflects your true purpose. And sometimes that purpose can't grow in places that refuse to change. Sometimes you have to leave the old container because the new wine requires something fresh. God says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" Isaiah 43:19. If you've been feeling restless, it may be because the new thing is already rising, and your spirit can't pretend it doesn't sense it. For many, church has become routine, something that offers comfort but not necessarily growth. But for you, chosen one, it is no longer the place where you find spiritual nourishment. You have been set apart for something greater, a deeper, more authentic connection with God that transcends walls. This doesn't mean the church is wrong. It means you have outgrown a season. The rituals no longer resonate because your spirit is maturing. You are being called to something living, something that moves with you, something that can't be contained in an hour-long service. This path is not easy, but it is beautiful. It requires courage and trust in God's guidance. You are learning to live led, not pushed. You are learning to listen, not just attend. You are learning to walk with God, not just sit near religious language. This is your journey, one of authenticity, freedom, and unshakable connection with the divine. When you step away from the church, you are not abandoning faith. You are honoring your desire for a relationship with God that goes beyond performance. It is an acknowledgement that you are already connected to Him in ways no institution can define or contain. You are not lost without structure. You are found in the truth of who you are, chosen and deeply loved. Tradition has its place. It can provide comfort and predictability, but for you, chosen one, it has become a limitation. God is calling you to break free from patterns that keep you small and to live in a divine flow, an ever-evolving journey that cannot be trapped in old ways of thinking. Your spirit longs for something more dynamic, and God is inviting you into the fullness of that transformation. Breaking free from tradition doesn't mean rejecting what you've learned. It means allowing God to lead you beyond what you've outgrown. The divine is not static. Your relationship with God is meant to deepen, mature, and expand. When you live in that flow, you open yourself to new revelation, greater peace, and real spiritual growth. You stop living your faith as a role and start living it as breath. Maybe you've sat through countless sermons, listened to songs, followed the rituals, and still felt hungry. Deep inside, you know the church's voice no longer speaks to your soul the way it used to. That doesn't mean your faith is dying. It means your faith is waking up. The silence you feel is not failure, it is space. And in that space, God speaks in a way that cannot be crowded out. God's voice isn't confined to church walls. It is within you, around you, steady and near. As you let go of what no longer feeds you, you will find that God speaks more intimately than ever. Through His Word, when you read it in private. Through conviction, when you're about to compromise. Through peace, when you expect panic. Through direction you can't explain, but can't deny. You are being invited to seek Him beyond tradition and live your life as a direct reflection of your relationship with Him. The road you are on is not the one most people choose. It requires courage and faith. It is the road less traveled because it is unfamiliar, unstructured, and often misunderstood. The chosen one's path can feel lonely, not because you are truly alone, but because the world does not understand your calling. You may face skepticism, you may face ridicule, but none of that matters when you are secure in the truth that God is with you. While the world seeks comfort in familiarity, you are being called to embrace the discomfort of growth. This path will stretch you, challenge you, refine you, and shape you into the person God always intended you to become. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were meant to blaze a trail that reflects your unique calling and divine purpose. Something within you is awakening, an inner stirring, a deep knowing, a quiet sense that your spiritual life is shifting. You've sensed for a while that the life you've known is changing, and you're being invited into something deeper than the traditional experience. Spiritual awakening often comes with disconnection from the old ways, not because you hate them, but because they can't hold what you're becoming. This awakening is not a destination, it is a journey. It will challenge you, inspire you, and uncover the truth of who you are. True freedom for the chosen one comes when you step away from the need for approval, the weight of expectation, and the pressure to measure up to someone else's standards. True freedom is not doing whatever you want. True freedom is living aligned with your highest purpose and letting God guide you from within. You stop living for the crowd and start living for the call. And the deeper truth, the one many people struggle to accept because it changes everything, is this: you are not separate from God. You are not abandoned, you're not distant. His presence is nearer than your next breath. You were created for communion. You were created to carry His light into real life, not just into religious spaces. Scripture says your body is a temple, not a performance stage. Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you? 1 Corinthians 6:19. If His Spirit lives in you, then you do not need to chase Him through systems that no longer serve your growth. For so long, church walls may have felt like the boundaries of your spiritual world. But now, God is calling you to live outside those walls, both literally and spiritually. You are invited to experience Him in the world around you, in every moment, in every ordinary place that becomes holy when you become aware. Your faith is meant to be lived fully, woven into your work, your relationships, your choices, your healing, your courage, your discipline, your forgiveness, your boundaries, your growth. Living outside the walls means you no longer force yourself into structures that don't fit your spirit. It means you embrace the world as your sanctuary, because God is with you in the streets, in the mountains, in your room at night, in the quiet moments when nobody sees you but Him. Your spiritual journey is not limited to attendance. It is a life of constant communion. Religious chains can be heavy: expectations, rituals, pressure to appear perfect, pressure to agree, pressure to stay quiet when God is stirring you to speak. But as you step away and embrace your calling, you are breaking free from those chains. This freedom is not about rejecting God. It is about rejecting anything that replaces Him. It is about learning to walk with Him directly, to live with integrity, and to follow His lead, even when people don't applaud. So, if you feel the pull, if you sense this message touching a place inside you that you've tried to ignore, don't fight it. Don't shrink back into what is comfortable just to keep other people comfortable. If God is calling you into a deeper life, you owe it to your spirit to answer. Keep your heart humble. Keep your focus clear. Keep your prayer life alive. Keep your hands open. Keep your obedience strong. And remember this: being chosen doesn't mean you will never be misunderstood. It means you will learn to be steady anyway. It means you will stop living to be accepted and start living to be aligned. It means you will stop searching for God in places that no longer feed you and start recognizing Him where He has always been, right beside you, within you, guiding you forward. Chosen one, this is your season. This is your shift. Walk it with courage. Walk it with reverence. Walk it with joy. And if you're truly chosen, you won't just hear this message, you'll live it.